we got to go back to the beginning because both of us started out as kids.
Yeah.
But you started out on Barney, girl.
I did.
Barney, I
the
loved
big purple
Barney as a
dinosaur.
kid.
I did too.
Girl, when I was little, my mom used to make me and my sister, like, whenever we would argue, we would sing the Barney sister song, where it's like, sometimes we're real close friends. We stay up late and talk at night. Like, I was obsessed with Barney. So
I never saw that song.
it was
and
like
I never
old
performed
one.
it.
Yeah,
wow.
it was like because, you know, it's when we think about it, Barney been around for a long time.
A long time.
He was like,
Iconic.
Iconic. So what was that like for you working on that show and getting your start in that way?
Okay guys, welcome back to another video. Let me know what y'all think in the comments down below and subscribe if you're new to the channel.
It was so much fun, and
If you remember anything, because how old were you?
I do remember I was 8 years old when I filmed it. So I actually had auditioned when I was 5, and they didn't book me because I didn't know how to read yet. And they were like, how are you going to memorize your lines? My mom would, in the audition, she drew pictures next to each line so I could remember what the line was about. Anyways, it didn't work out when I was 5, but I auditioned a few years later and ended up booking it, and it changed the course of my life. And I give Barney the credit for like really starting my career in acting. It was my first film and television job. So
And so where was this at? Was this from where you're from? Where are you from?
I'm from Dallas.
You're from Dallas.
Yeah.
So did you do this in Dallas?
I did. They filmed it in Dallas, and it was a dream come true. I loved Barney as well, and had toys, Barney toys, and you know, everything growing up. And so to be on the show was so sick.
I love that. You mentioned being called an old soul at a very young age. How do you feel like that helped you in your era of Disney, where obviously, like, I don't know how soon after that was, maybe not, like, what, 4 or 5 years? How old were you when you started working with Disney?
Disney, I was 14. My first gig with Disney.
For a while. Then.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, I was auditioning for a while. I wasn't booking a lot of jobs. I would book commercials here and there and like a guest role on this show, but like it was not consistent work.
Yeah.
After Barney and to Disney Channel, and once I did end up working with Disney Channel, that's when my career really skyrocketed and just like took off for me, and the rest is history.
And would you say that it was, were you immediately auditioning for Sunny with a Chance, or did you kind of work, because, you know, working with Disney, sometimes they have you doing other stuff, and then slowly you get your own show. How did it happen for you?
I booked a show called As the Bell Rings, which was... Oh, you know it!
I know As the Bell Rings,
Oh, sick! Okay. Well, I did As the Bell Rings, which for those who don't know was a like 5-minute show that they would air on commercial breaks. And that was my shoe-in with Disney Channel. And then they brought me in to audition for... they actually had me audition for Jonas, the TV show.
Yes, I remember. That was quick.
Yes.
That show.
Yeah. And I didn't book it. I got down to the wire on it, and I was so devastated. And they were like, you know what? We want to pull you in to audition for 2 other projects. If you're like, come on in and audition. And I was like, you just told me no. Like, I don't want to do this, but I'm going to give it another shot. So I went in and I was so defeated, but I put my all into these 2 auditions, and it ended up being Camp Rock and Sunny with a Chance.
That's
crazy.
I
booked them both.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, I think back on it. Was this Gary when Gary Marsh was up over there? Shout out to Gary Marsh.
Yeah,
and it was
Gary.
Also the other guy too with them that I cannot. Adam Burrell.
Oh my God.
Adam Burrell, Gary Marsh. That was their whole era where Disney Channel. I feel like it was really at what we considered the Disney Channel height.
Yes.
So Sunny with a Chance, you had your own show. What was that like? Because having your own show, it's very fun and cool, but it's also a lot of pressure. I'm curious how it was for you.
I think for me, I had so much fun working on Disney Channel. I was thriving, but at the same time, it was coupled with a lot of struggles. I was struggling with my mental health at the time. So I really was kind of, I let the pressure get to me, and it was really challenging. It's hard to carry a show by yourself at 16 years old.
Very.
And I ended up having a blast. I made incredible friends that, you know, I've stayed friends with, and And it was a good experience, but it was a lot of pressure, and I did struggle on that show.
What do you think was the hardest part for you? Because I know for me growing up, like I don't know what your background was in Dallas, but I came from a very like lower working class family. So getting into Disney, Nickelodeon, having my own show, I became the breadwinner of my family just by
Me too.
proxy. Yeah, you know what I mean? It's like it's just what happened. They had to help with my career, and we're seeing money that we never had seen.
Oh, absolutely.
And that stress for me, especially not being able to process it, that was like a big triggering point. And then never wanting to like be sad or make anybody feel like bad about it because I don't want them to be stressed. Like, you know, and then not having a lot of time to like have fun and be a kid.
Yeah, you know, for me, I actually was like, I had this like mantra that was like, if you're gonna work me like an adult, I'm gonna party like an adult.
Oh.
And I got into some bad stuff at a young age, and that's when I started like self-medicating. And I wish that, you know, I had stayed more focused. Obviously,
Sure.
I think the course of my life would have gone in a different direction, meaning like I wouldn't have maybe struggled as much with substances later down the road.
Sure.
But like everything happens for a reason, and I'm sitting here in this state of mind today, like grateful and for everything that I've been through.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was really challenging. There wasn't a lot of time for play, but when I did, I played pretty hard.
I mean, that's very. I know we didn't want any of the drama. I know we didn't want any of the drama of it, but I feel like people don't understand like that's what we was dealing with. You know,
Yeah.
I found myself dating. I'm 15. Why is my boyfriend 20?
Why was my boyfriend 30?
Girl,
You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
Like,
I'm not smiling at that, but that is real. We was trying to
Yes.
find outlets, though. I don't think,
Outlets,
you know,
and
and
also-
just a way to process this, and nobody our age. I mean,
could understand. Nobody our age could understand. But then you look back in hindsight, when I turned 30, I was like, that's not okay.
girl, the moment when you realize and you get the age of a lot of people that were around you and doing stuff, it's almost a mental break that can happen because you realize,
Yeah.
you were taking advantage of. Oh, I was being exploited.
Yeah.
Oh, was very difficult for me when because at 15, I'm thinking like my boyfriend's older because I'm doing an older job and I'm
Yeah.
doing a bunch of things and this is the way that it
Yeah.
is, and it seemed normal in my mind. But then
Especially if you're an older soul, too. Especially if you're mature for your age.
I love the Hillary Duff song.
Oh
that she
my
came out
God,
with.
me too.
Yeah, because it's like, we all had the same damn life. damn
Yes.
it. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Where people kept telling us you're so mature
Yes.
for your age.
I also wrote a song about that. It's called 29.
Oh my
and when you
gosh.
listen to it, I think you'll be able to relate to it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I was very excited to talk to you because I knew that we were going to be able to relate to so much of these things. But in speaking of that, like people might think, well, you're surrounded by other people. There's Miley Cyrus and there's Selena Gomez but there's a lot of competition that the industry put in those times and space when we were kids. I almost felt like a lot of times me being black, I was kind of left out of the conversation. Like, people weren't really involving me in it, which, I mean, it's kind of was positive, I feel like in a lot of ways, because I felt like I would be watching on the outside a lot of those different mechanisms happening, and I would be kind of like, okay, that's interesting. How was it for you trying to make friendships when you have these corporations, using us all as products, and then always pitting like who's the number one girl? Like that makes it hard to actually become friends with people that might relate to your experience.
Well, what was beautiful is Selena and I had a friendship prior to Disney Channel because we actually
Barney.
were on Barney together. And so I felt this safety when I came into the Disney Channel having a built-in friendship there already. And I'm so grateful for that. We'll always be grateful for the friendship that I have and continue to have with her. But it was challenging when people are comparing you to one another, and you naturally have insecurities at a young age. So you start comparing yourself to other people. But one thing my mom always instilled in me was like, there's room for everyone. It's
true.
not a competition. And even though there are it can be competitive, and if you have that mindset, it definitely is competitive. My mom was just always like, there's room for everyone, and you have your own voice, your own lane. And that's what I really stuck by.
Yeah.
And that's what kind of got me through that period. So like I was always rooting for everybody.
Yeah.